And good afternoon. Welcome to the Bristol Business Connection. The Bristol Business Connection is a co-production of the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce, Fall River Community Media, and of course Bristol Community College. My name is Jennifer Lorenzo with the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce, and we have three special guests today. Should I start here?
Sure.
Michael O'Sullivan, of course, the CEO and President of the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce. Kimberly Croa-Moniz, the Vice President of the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce, and of course Rick Kidder, CEO and President of the South Coast Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, Jen.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Good. So since we've spoken last time, we have a new name and a new logo when it comes to the integration plans for the new year.
We've got a lot happening between now and January 1st. Back in mid-September, the governor came down and helped us celebrate and announce that the name of the integrated chamber would be One South Coast Chamber.
Right. And we've put together a new logo, and that new logo is really designed around representing both of our communities well. Our new logo has a knot in it, a square knot, and those are two equal pieces. And it's the coming together of two equal organizations. In addition to that, both the colors and the knot are nods to our past and also our present. The knots represent textiles, the knots represent nautical. And so in our world, in the South Coast Chamber is really one that is not only honoring our past, but also moving forward, and moving forward in a way that looks graphically like a handshake and looks graphically like something that represents and treasures our past and future.
Absolutely.
We also maintained the tagline, which came from the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce, which we've had for a very long time, the voice of business.
And I know since we've come together, we've talked a number of times about the fact that, you know, the Bristol County Chamber in and of itself did so many great things, and the South Coast Chamber has done so many great things independently, and so coming together just kind of fits naturally.
Absolutely. You know, the more we roll towards January 1st, the more we realize that. As an example, we had 330 people when the governor came down to help us celebrate the name and the coming together. And every time we go out in the community, we hear great things about the concept of the integration. We get lots of questions, and we're getting more questions about how is it actually going to operate now, as opposed to, do you think it'll ever happen?
Yeah, we've gone from it's an impossibility to it's an inevitability to it's actually happening. And at this juncture, one of the things that everybody recognizes is that we are one economic region. And that one economic region really has to have a business organization that supports the entire region. Not only supports it internally and works with our businesses who are our members, but supports us also at Beacon Hill and supports us in Washington, D.C. We've often thought of ourselves as something of a forgotten corner of the Commonwealth. And a strong business organization with the size and scale of One South Coast Chamber is really going to allow us to be that voice of business in new and exciting ways, both in Boston and in D.C.
I think something that's very impactful, if you're just kind of learning about the integration, is the fact that we're going to be the second largest chamber in the state of Massachusetts.
In the South Coast, I believe, right?
That's right.
Yeah, so I think that speaks a lot in and of itself about our capacity to speak to government officials, local elected officials, about things that are important to the business community.
Well, we're seeing that in, you know, one of our biggest newer initiatives. Education has always been a big initiative of the Bristol County Chamber, but one of the biggest initiatives of One South Coast Chamber is early education, and we're recognizing very quickly that by making that an initiative and trying to set up, work with our legislators and build a foundation so that early education really is a priority, and we hope to be able to come together and build a pilot program for Fall River and New Bedford. I just heard yesterday that all of a sudden there's people locally getting phone calls from Boston. How's that working? We're hearing about that, and there's a lot going on with that initiative, and you know, we want to know what you're doing, and we want to know how you're going to help make that work, and which we're figuring that out.
And one of the things that I think we all know is that our gateway cities lag behind the rest of the Commonwealth when it comes to educational attainment and educational success. We're blessed in Massachusetts to have the finest and highest rated school system in the country, but that doesn't mean it's evenly spread. And if you look at our gateway cities, particularly New Bedford and Fall River, one of the things that we know as a differentiator is that very few of our kids have the opportunity to attend preschool. They're starting out behind. And when kids are starting out behind, unfortunately, they rarely catch up. They stay behind. And so for a lot of our population, many of whom may be economically disadvantaged, for a lot of our populations, these are hardworking people who want the best for their children, and giving them the best start is exactly the way to do that. So early childhood education is important to us. Mike, we're going to be putting together something called No Small Matter Day. So.
Yes. No Small Matter Day is going to be November 20th.
It's coming up.
There's a film called No Small Matter, and it's Joanne Sprague from the Children's Museum of Greater Fall River brought this to us last year, and we showed the film at the we had an early education symposium right here at Bristol Community College. But Joanne brought this to us, to our attention, and we've put it together so that we're going to show the film. It's going to be shown at the Narrows, and it's going to be shown at the Whaling Museum in New Bedford, same time both evenings, so that regardless of where you live, you can, or work, you can go. And we're very excited about it because it's a great example, a great film that talks about the importance of early childhood education, and it's moving. It is very, very moving. We showed a 3-minute trailer to our board last week, and as I said, it was very moving. And I saw the movie last year, but it's an incredible movie, and it's we need to contribute there, and to help move the needle educationally. And that early childhood education, it ultimately becomes part of economic development.
Yeah, for us, that really is an economic development issue. And on November 20th, when we do the film showing, our goal really is to begin the process of mobilizing the community, and particularly mobilizing the business community around this concept. If it may sound crass, but young children going through school end up the raw material for the employment base in our communities. Our employers really do have a stake in our academic success of our kids. And so on November 20th, when we put this showing out, we know that this is but step one. But as we move forward, we're really looking to make sure that we can mobilize our communities around our kids. And if we can, we're going to end up with the best workforce that we could possibly have, as well as the best citizens we could have.
And I know we're inviting business leaders within the community, within the industrial park and what have you, to come and attend the showing of this so that they understand the need for early childhood care a little bit better. And I know you're both working on the cities kind of independently, New Bedford and Fall River, declaring it on November 20th as No Small Matters Day.
Yes, we're working with both mayor's offices to make that happen, to have a proclamation on that day. Hopefully everything can fall together, but it's that important. It really is that important that that we need the mayors to step up. We need the superintendents to step up, and I'm sure they will, because you can't argue with early childhood education. It doesn't seem like you could, and they've been very supportive of everything that we've been doing so far. And we've had the two superintendents coming to meetings and giving us feedback and giving us good direction. They've been very, very helpful.
And we're blessed also to have the real leadership of the Education Committee at the Bristol County Chamber, and in particular, Nick Christ, who's the CEO of Bay Coast Bank, who works tirelessly for educational attainment within our area. For us at the South Coast Chamber, it's a wonderful kind of kickoff to the next morning, which is our final annual meeting as the South Coast Chamber. And we've decided to keep an education theme going. And Ed Lambert, who is former mayor of Fall River, somebody who believes in regional economies, but most importantly now is head of the Massachusetts Business Alliance for Education, is going to be our keynoter. And we're going to use the showing the night before and our annual meeting the next day to ensure that we keep education at the forefront and make it a part of our conversation as a part of the business community.
So Rick, that is at the Century House?
That is. It'll be at the Century House in Acushnet. It runs from 8:30 to 10:30 in the morning. Any and all are welcome. Just register through our website. But it's a wonderful opportunity to hear more about our initiatives going forward.
Absolutely. And I know we have a lot of events kind of switching over coming up for both chambers at this time of year as we gear up for the new year. I guess I'll let Kim kind of start to tell us about all of the events we have coming up, but I know you have the annual meeting like you had mentioned, Rick. We have a Battle of the Cupcakes coming up shortly.
Oh, baby.
So if you like the baked goods or you have a sweet tooth, definitely attend. And it's been, I think this is the third year now?
This is our third year doing it, and it's a family fun run event, so we have a lot of families come with a lot of kids. It's being held at White's of Westport on November 13th. The whole concept of it is we have bakeries and we have personal people that just like to bake, and they all compete against one another. We have a local chef from BCC, we have somebody from White's of Westport, and then they judge the cupcakes. So somebody walks off with an award, but at the same time the public can come in and taste every cupcake they possibly can imagine.
Oh, sign me up.
It's really, really good. We actually have to separate the cupcakes with vendors. Avon, Tastefully Simple, just so you're not eating a cupcake after a cupcake, because it becomes... But then we also have a coloring contest for the kids, and you know, we have a certain child that wins an award as well, so it's fun for them, gives them something to do. We'll have a character dressed up, so that way the kids can take pictures. And Fun 107 will be there with a DJ, so they can, you know.
It is a lot of fun. We even had someone came with a new idea for a cupcake, and they made a meatball-type meatloaf
cupcake.
With
mashed potato
potatoes
toppings.
on the top.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
So think out of the box, and I think we're still looking for vendors if you'd like to
anybody.
participate.
Matter of fact, we had two different vendors sign up this morning, so the more, I keep saying the more the merrier.
Oh, that's fantastic. Where's that going to be?
That's at White's.
Oh,
it's an evening event. So this year we changed the time. It starts at 6 o'clock instead of 5. Gives people time to get out of work, pick up their kids, and not have to rush and get to White's on time.
And if you're interested in participating for that, just give us a call at the Chamber, 508-676-8226, and we'll get you signed up to be involved in that. So It's a lot of fun. And then the next night, on Thursday, we're back at it because we have the Outstanding Citizen of the Year Award Banquet in memory of Roger Valcourt, and we have a very special award recipient this year. So
Joan Maderos from Bristol County Savings Bank. And Joan is just a wonderful woman. And boy, she's involved in so much in the community. It's just incredible. She's
Rotary, Prince Henry Society.
Yeah, Prince Henry Society. She's the board chair at Bristol Community College. She's involved with Bishop Connolly. She's involved with her church, St. Stanislaus. What am I missing?
Just going a little bit one step further, I just happened to post Joan's flyer that we had created online on Facebook yesterday, and within a couple of hours, 165 comments.
Wow.
So that goes to show you how many people that she has actually touched one way or another. You know, whether it's professionally or personally. I mean, she definitely is somebody that really deserves this award. Right. So we will be at the Venus for that event. Bristol County Savings Bank has stepped up, and they're going to sponsor that event. And you know, congratulations to Joan. I'm really happy for her that she is part of this elite group that has received this award.
It's nice to honor somebody that kind of goes above and beyond in their community every year. And we've had how many? I think this is 53rd this year?
Yes. And you know, it's funny because every year we have an award selection committee, and every year it's hard making that decision. You know, we get all these applications in, and we sit there. Mike sat there this year, and we sit there with a group of people, and you say to yourself, you know, how do you best pick the right person? But whoever we always choose, you always get the same reaction. Oh, I don't need to be recognized. And those are the type of people that should be getting the award. The people that do what they do because they enjoy doing it. And as far as I'm concerned, Joan is a great role model for the younger, you know, girls out there, the younger generation.
And we have a nice speaking portion. Last year was kind of a roast to Carl Hetzler. It kind of changed a little bit. And then
that
of course
was for him. He wanted to do it that way.
Nick Chris the year before. But it's an enjoyable evening. It's at the Venus, and we still have tickets available for that.
We have tickets available for that. tables of 10 also can be reserved, so if people are looking for a table, that can happen as well. They just need to call me at the chamber, or they can email me. One or the other is easier.
And then shortly after that, we have, well, two big business after-hour events coming up. One jointly with the South Coast Chamber, of course.
On December 12th, I believe?
Yes, December 12th is our joint holiday after-hours. That's at
Correct.
White's, and it was a great event. You dressed up as Santa Claus last year.
And
I have my dress this year. That
You
I'm gonna
do?
Yes, I have a Christmas dress.
we have,
I hear Matt Sean Dec has another new Christmas
does.
suit.
you know, I wasn't even going to mention Matt by name because he definitely is a man who is known for his holiday suits. But Santa will make an appearance, as far as I know, and I hope. I've actually been hoping that Mike would
Dress
be
up as
willing
the
to be an elf. But he has repeatedly said he would not do that. So Mike is going to be there in some form of dignity, and I will be sacrificing dignity throughout the evening.
He'll have his dress socks
He'll
on.
have his dress socks on. That's correct.
Maybe
That's,
even a good tie, you never know.
one never knows. One never knows. But that's a great opportunity. Last year when we did it, I think we had 300 folks
We had a lot
who
of people
came.
there.
It was
yeah.
a
Great
wonderful
success.
event. It was a wonderful event, and the people who were there, not only the goodwill around the holidays, but the goodwill around the organization itself. What a wonderful kickoff that was for us to begin our conversations about integrating the two organizations. For us, that's becoming like a signature event, to be able to bring the organization together for the holidays. We
And this
love it.
year, once again, Carl's Collision and WHTB with Frank Baptista and White's, they're all sponsoring that event
Fantastic.
again. So we're really excited. You had to know it was a great event. They jumped on board right away. So
And it's nice. It'll be kind of our final coming together of two separate chambers. I think that's going to be one of our last events of the
It
year
is.
until the new year comes. So.
It is, and then we'll all be breathing a little sigh of relief and then getting ready for January.
Exactly. But we do have, unfortunately, we have one that falls on the same night coming up on the 21st, I believe, in
right.
November.
I know that South Coast Chamber has one at UMass Dartmouth,
Right.
which we in the past have done jointly. Unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way this year. So you'll be at UMass Dartmouth, and we will be at Venus de Milo. That's the night of our holiday fund, business after hours,
Oh, fun.
which kicks off with the Herald News. So it's a little bit different.
Well, maybe I'll skip mine and go to yours.
We have a silent
I'll
auction.
skip mine and go to yours.
There you go.
It's a nice event because the holiday fund each and every year with the Herald News, all of the money that's donated or received goes to help needy families for the holidays in our area with food and toys and things like that. So it's a really nice event, and they do have some silent auction items that evening that you can
Silent auction
bid on.
items. They usually have some type of a glass jar of either Hershey Kisses or M&Ms or something that you have to guess how many are in the jar, and then there's a prize.
I'm good at that.
They do a 50-50 raffle,
Right.
but all that money gets pulled together and goes towards the holiday
Right.
fund.
And we do ask, I know something that people like to do, it's kind of cute every year, if you are coming to that, you can bring a new toy with you to be
Wonderful.
donated. So we usually end up with a big
A
Santa
big-
sack
yeah.
full of toys that'll be given out to needy families in the area as
That's
well.
wonderful.
So it's a great cause, and it's always nice to kind of kick that off on November 21st. So we have a lot of events between now and then, and one more in December.
Actually, we have a couple of them.
Signature
actually.
event, yes.
But we do have a signature event, and I've been working on this for a couple of years, and it's called Martinis and Mistletoe.
You know, people might think the theme
You're
that
gonna
we've
be
had
free
throughout
this
all
night,
of this
yeah.
is drinking heavily. But I think Martinis and Mistletoe sounds like a tremendous event.
Well, you know, it's a great way to kick off the holiday season. It's December 5th, and it's going to be done at Independence Harbor. We're going to have some type of a signature drink, martini or whatever it is, and some of the proceeds from that drink will be going towards the youth services at St. Vincent's.
Wonderful.
Which is a great, a great opportunity to support St. Vincent's. And then with the purchase of every ticket, what we're doing is you're going to be entered into a raffle. We have several business organizations, and I'd like to mention them.
Sure.
Plant Jewelers, they're donating, it's like a $700 women's pearl necklace,
Wow.
and like an
Beautiful.
onyx. It's actually beautiful. Then we have Sogs Travel donating a trip to the Azores. It won't be the airfare. We're still working on that, but it will be the trip itself.
Wow.
Which I think is phenomenal. We have Sabre TV donating a sound bar.
For your
$400
television.
value.
Wow.
And we're working on a few other things that are going to be part of the ticket. So if you purchase your ticket, you automatically get entered into one of those raffles. At the same time, we have a lot of businesses donating items for our silent auction. Matuk is going to be donating some type of a blanket.
Portugalia is going to do a gift basket for us.
Right.
Oh, this is wonderful.
Blount Seafood is also doing a gift basket.
Can you buy additional raffle tickets at the event?
Those tickets are not raffles. Those are silent auction.
Oh, silent
so,
auction.
Yeah, so
Excellent.
everybody can put their name and just make sure they just keep going up and outbidding the person in front of them.
So if I have enough of the signature cocktail, that will loosen up my pen
there you
dramatically.
go. We want everybody to have that signature cocktail. And let me tell you,
Word is you're coming as Santa.
Well,
Oh, there
that
you
could
go.
happen. That could happen. You never know.
Independence Harbor has really worked
beautiful place,
very hard with us in providing such a great meal for that evening. We're going to have a macaroni and cheese martini bar. Ahead of our meal, we'll have two choices, either the prime rib or the scrod with lobster cream sauce. Obviously, it comes with mashed potatoes and vegetable, coffee and tea. And our dessert is going to be a hot, warm apple crisp served with vanilla ice cream.
Can you tell I skipped lunch today?
So I think the evening, I mean, at the same time, not only can you buy a single ticket, but there are a lot of businesses in our community that have 3 or 4 small businesses that they kind of feel lost if they have their Christmas party someplace. So I want to invite those businesses to join our event and have, their own Christmas party at our event. You don't have to buy prizes for your employees because we're already doing that with the purchase of the tickets. So the one bad thing about this is we only have 250 tickets.
Ooh.
So after the tickets are sold, I cannot squeeze anybody else in.
So you have to call early to get
It
your
will
tickets ahead of
definitely
time.
be a first come,
I want a
first
ticket.
serve.
I want a ticket.
And we're already getting reservations for that, and I have not even started putting this on Facebook yet. So,
Getting
Well,
it out.
Santa wants a ticket.
yeah.
Okay. And we can't forget about the mistletoe part. I've been, asked a lot of questions
I'll
about
bet
that.
you have. I'll bet you have.
No, it's going to be a great night. I'm really looking forward to it. This is the first time we've ever done this, so it's
It'll be a great night.
yeah.
That sounds really
I'm
exciting.
still hung up because I thought you said it was going to be a macaroni and cheese martini bar. So I thought you meant the martini is going to be macaroni and cheese.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
I'm
that's
trying
what
to
they
figure that
call
one
it, a
out.
macaroni and cheese martini bar. And I believe
they
there's
serve it in
they have
martini.
martini classes, and you can go with your macaroni and cheese and put certain toppings on
Okay.
it. I guess it's a
Oh.
great hit with Independence Harbor. I'm really looking forward to
Oh,
it.
that sounds
It
really
sounds
good.
like fun.
You
It
might
does sound
want to
good.
just have that and not have your meal
Right.
after that. But again, it's the
Yeah.
first time we're doing it. We're doing tables of, actually, I think we're doing tables of 10. We were going to do 8, and I think we decided to do 10.
Okay.
Just because we do have some businesses that have more
Employees,
employees. So. But I think it's going to be a great hit.
Oh, that
And,
will be a
I'm
hit.
hoping once we are One South Coast, we'll continue doing this.
Oh, absolutely.
We can do it at a different venue. It is sponsored by Bay Coast Bank, and I thank Bay Coast Bank for doing that for us.
And we
But-
can't forget about one more event, because I'm watching the clock over
Okay.
here. Congressman Kennedy
Yes.
is coming.
Excellent.
And this is still a joint chamber event as well, too, if other people, from the South Coast Chamber would like to attend.
Yep. You want to talk about that? Would you like me to?
We can both talk about it. We're excited to have we're very excited to have the congressman back again this year. It's the third year.
I think so.
Yes,
Third
I
or
believe
fourth-
so.
Third year that he's spoken to us at the end of the year. He does a great job. He's going to come and give us some feedback on what's happening in Washington, which
He's a busy guy these days,
changes,
too.
Yes, he
changes
is.
every day. And yes, he's very busy. And there's a lot happening.
Right.
There's a lot happening. But yes, he's very.
And there's a
very
lot
busy.
happening in his life as well. So
Right.
I really respect him. He likes to take the time, from that busy schedule that he has in his life, and he always supports talking to the business community and letting them know what's happening.
And I know, unfortunately, he wasn't able to come and speak during lunch hours this time because of his schedule being
Right.
so busy. But it's going to be a great event, and he has committed. It'll be Tuesday, December 3rd,
Correct.
as a breakfast
At
Excellent.
McGovern's.
this year at McGovern's. And if you'd like to participate, tickets are still available for that as well. So we always thank him for giving his time for, to come down here and talk to.
And he loves to
area
come to the
businesses.
Fall River community. It's just that he considers it such an important part of his district, and so we love to partner with him to have him come and talk to the businesses.
Absolutely.
By
And
the time this airs, actually, Mike and I will have been at a Blue Economy Symposium, both with Congressman Kennedy and Congressman
Right.
Keating. So we'll have an opportunity to have both of our congressmen together talking about the blue economy and how much that is going to shape the economic future of this area. So it's exciting that not only to have this breakfast, but to
to
be
have
able
something like that
but
as
to have
well.
something like that as well. There's a lot of good things happening here.
Absolutely. And I know we just have a few minutes left, kind of going back to the integration. I know we had a Westport business-to-business meeting not too long ago. What are some things that you're hearing from some of our members, as being some still questions that they have kind of heading into the new year with the integration?
We're hearing more, how's it actually going to operate? Some of the committees, we have 2 ambassador committees, so we're getting a lot of questions from the ambassadors. Well, exactly how's the ambassador committee going to run? Is it going to be just one committee? Is it going to be 2 committees? And it's probably going to be both. It's probably going to be one kind of an oversight committee of a few people, and then 2 committees, one in New Bedford, one in Fall River. And our ambassadors invest an enormous amount of time in the chamber, and we need to make sure that that they're going in the same direction, but that they have the opportunity to get back to their business when they can. It's just it's one of the few situations where we don't want people to feel like they absolutely have to only go to New Bedford to meet, or to only go to Fall River. And it's unique, but you know what? That's a lot of great feedback that we got from many of our ambassadors from both chambers. So we're tweaking that and coming up with making it work.
We've also heard, by and large, we've heard nothing but positive things, which is a wonderful thing. But as it has gone along, one of the things that we've recognized that we always need to talk about is the Chamber's support of small and micro business. Because chambers like ours, I think many people don't realize it. They see names of big companies that are sponsoring things. But the reason that those big companies are sponsoring things is that they're looking for access to those small and micro businesses.
They do business with them.
They do business with them. 90% of our membership is 25 employees or fewer, and so when you look at our membership and that lingering fear that perhaps that small business guy is going to get lost in this larger organization, it is anything but that. Those small businesses, those micro businesses, they are our bread and butter. They're why we exist. And because of that, when we're designing programs and services, and soon we're going to get down to the nitty-gritty of building schedules for the year and calendars and all of the stuff that goes with that, when we go through that process, it is with the small business in mind. They are our backbone. And so going forward, we've heard an awful lot of very, very positive things, but we've also addressed some of the very few concerns we've had to make sure that people don't get lost in this process.
Absolutely. All right, well, I think we've almost run out of time, so thank you. Again, Rick Kidder, CEO and President of the South Coast Chamber of Commerce, Kimberly Carrillo-Moniz, the Vice President at the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce, and Michael O'Sullivan, President of the Bristol County Chamber of Commerce. I think I got them all in. And
I think you got them all in, and soon one South Coast Chamber.
And thank you for joining us for the Bristol Business Connection. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Jen.
Thanks.